Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be converting the following polar coordinates to rectangular coordinates, so let's dive in. Okay, so the main thing to remember when we're converting is that x is equal to r cosine theta and that y is equal to r sine theta. And the reality is we already know what r is and what theta is because the polar coordinates tell us, right? Polar coordinates are always written in the form of r comma theta. So for this first example, we could say, well, that means r is 3 because it's the first one, and theta is pi, so that's the second one. And if we just plug those values in, we can easily find out what x and y would be. So x would be r cos theta, so that's going to be 3 cos pi, and y is going to be 3 sine pi. Now, let's review what is cosine of pi. Well, if we picture the cosine graph, just recall the cosine graph looks like this. Well, that's not the best drawing. I'm going to try again. But yeah, recall the cosine graph looks like this. So here we have 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. And so at pi, it's at -1. Right? So if we recall that cosine of pi is -1, this would be 3 times -1, which is -3. Then what about sine of pi? Well, sine is similar, but that's the one that goes up and down like that. And so at pi, sine is 0, right? So 3 times 0, which would be 0. So therefore, the rectangular coordinates are x is 3 and y is 0. So the rectangular coordinates overall are -3, 0. All right, let's do one more example. What if we have 7, pi over 6? So just a reminder, that means that 7 is r, the radius, and pi over 6 is theta. So for this one, we know that x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sine theta. So in this case, that means we'd have 7 cos pi over 6. And for y, we'd have 7 sine pi over 6. Now, what are sine and cosine of pi over 6? Well, we actually can't figure that out very easily by using our graphs, but we can by using our special triangles. So let's recall the 30, 60, 90 special triangle with radians. It's going to look like this. Here we have pi over 3, pi over 6, root 3, 1, and 2, like that. So therefore, cosine of pi over 6 would be adjacent over hypotenuse, which is root 3 over 2. So this would be 7 times root 3 over 2. And then for sine pi over 6, well, that would be opposite over hypotenuse. So that's going to be a half. So 7 times a half. So therefore, for this one, actually, I'm just going to move this out of the way a little bit here. For this one, we would have 7 root 3 over 2. For this one, we would have 7 over 2. Also, 3.5 would work for that one as well. And so therefore, the rectangular coordinates would be 7 root 3 over 2, comma 7 over 2. And there we go. As always, if you have any questions, please leave those in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.